Please stop fingering your while driving. You came on a mouse? And now I bet you have a piss king. How'd you swallow it? You're gonna be the reasons the aliens don't want to save us.
It is time. Today we're going to be looking over Crabcake Confessions. Some of them are already really fucking weird, so I hope you guys are prepared for this because I'm not. I snuck out on night and went to an 18+ strip club by my house a few times when I turned 19. One of the girls there was really cool and we had some of the same interests. We talked about anime for a half hour while I gave her tips. That's cute. I like that. I really want to know what kind of anime she liked though. Bit of a money waster. Imagine getting paid to talk about anime. I honestly wouldn't because I'd be the worst person to talk about anime with. What kind of anime do you watch? I don't. Worst, most heinous thing I've ever done is follow Lucia Krabs on Twitch. I'm so embarrassed. What'd they say me for? What'd they say me for? Me too, actually. I'm embarrassed to be myself. So close second was What the? What they double down? I have the biggest crush on you. You're. Wait, we went from hating me to liking me. I don't know how to feel about this. Do you have a crush on me? I feel like you kind of barely know me. You know what I'm saying? You only know me for 4 hours a day. Unless you're in my second Discord, then you know me a little bit more. But it is cute though. They know Lucia. They want to know you more. You don't want that. You don't want that. I promise. Listen, I would ruin your life. And now everyone's like, oh, I do want it. I once hit a kid with a chair. Okay. This is the same person, by the way. It literally is response 1 and 2. But the teacher hated him, so he got sent to detention. And I got a stern warning for horseplay. Why'd you hit him with a chair? Where's the context? I need to, like, what kind of chair was it? Was it like a folding chair? Like, did you like literally WWE him? Just asking so she can find out who has a crush on her? True. And then ban them. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I would never do that. I think it's normal. It's like kind of normal. Just don't try to like stalk me or like... That's all I ask. I had people in high school like flip each other over in a desk before. Once during a long car ride, I was super pent up. Since my seat was in the back and I was surrounded by pillows and various luggage, I sneakily myself ninja style, hoping no one would notice. To this day, I still don't know if they did. You can't self-confess. I've only ever done stuff like that in a bed when other people were there. What's ninja style? Bro, I don't know. I don't think ninjas inherently themselves. So like, what is that? It means you don't make a sound? I can usually be silent unless I'm really into it. But like, did you finish? That's my next question. Did you finish? Because I just genuinely feel like that'd be a difficult thing to do. While traveling overseas, I had no privacy staying in a hostel, so no time while out shopping. I secretly flicked one out in the public stall and squirted so hard it hit the door. Yes, I did clean up after. I'm glad you cleaned up. I hate the term flicked me too. Whenever someone is like, I flicked the bean or something, I'm like, kill your... what I meant to say was kiss yourself. Thank you. Keep yourself safe. Oh, me, dude. I'm an ex-cult member for about 2 years. Didn't even name the cult. That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Okay, maybe there's more. Never kissed a girl. Okay. You could not say that you were in a cult and then your next confession is you've never kissed a girl. Like, no, you were in a cult. That's like, you're kind of busy. Like, you're busy living in a cult. Like, what the?
I need more to this cult thing.
What if it's a girl kissing cult? I would join. Was it like a sacrificial ritual kind of thing? Was it an orgy thing? Good on them. I'm proud of you for leaving a cult. I hope your life is better now. I hope you get to kiss a girl. When I was little, I was at my grandma's house and there wasn't a trash bag in the trash can. My brother dared me to pee in it. I peed in the trash can while my grandma and her friends were in the next room over and no one saw us. Your poor grandmother, dude. Why'd you pee in her trash can? You're up. You're a up little kid. That's weird. And now I bet you have a piss kink back from like 20 years ago because you did a little naughty little pissing and now you're probably into water sports. It was a dare? Say no. Just always act like they're tough until they get double dog dared. -2. I got picked once to go to Oxford Uni for a week ago with some other people and got stalked by a girl there. I hid in my room for a day and a half. She was creepy. Never spoke to me but said she loved me on the 6th day. I got her number but she kind of forced me to have it. I haven't spoken to her since I left. Also broke my pad on the 6th day. What do you mean broke your pad? As a woman, I'm thinking like your bleeding pad somehow, like, do you mean like broke into your apartment? Like, what do you mean broke your pad? Like your place, your iPad? Broke your lock? That's really creepy though. I hope you're okay. That's really creepy. People who stalk others are weird. Back in the day when it was still a thing, I used to regularly hook up on Craigslist. This is so scary. Why would you do that? Even lost my V card that way. That dinner was amazing and so was the rounds 1, 4, and 5. What were you giving or receiving? And what do you mean your V card? Was your first V card doing? This feels made up. I don't doubt that people do Craigslist This was not before Tinder though. So it was, why were you on Craigslist? I feel like that's how you get STDs. Sometimes when I'm having sad kitty hours, cuddle sesh with my pillows plushies, I play the role of somebody else as the pillows are to me and give myself self-love and positive affirmations. Sometimes I also get handsy in my lonesome cuddle sessions, and that leads to me having some phantom sense fun as the body pillow instead. Are you a woman or a man? That's gonna change how I look at this. Back in high school at the end of my junior year, it was during like a summer program. So like after I finished it, met this girl and she kept complimenting me to the point I turned red. We started to fall for each other and she asked me out during my senior year, but I declined because it was going too fast. I got blocked and avoided for my entire senior year because they asked me to send a photo of me to their friends. We soon talked again after my senior year and they literally forgot why they avoided and blocked me. I had no idea as well because I did nothing wrong, but from what I know from little scraps of memory, their friends went through my Twitter and saw how unhinged I was. I never know if that was the case, but it's crazy that I was blocked and avoided for a year for something that we don't remember anymore. -2, this is high school drama, -2. When I daydream of being in relationships with fictional characters, my mind wanders off to my actual friends and I'm having a romantic relationship with them. Felt disgusted and wanted to puke when that crosses my mind. Why? Do you guys not fantasize about your friends sometimes? Wait, you guys don't actually think about your friends sometimes? Me neither. That's so weird, right? Is that bad? Should I not do that? Should I not be gooning to my friends?
It's not like all my friends. It's just once in a while I'll be like, oh, that would be kind of fun.
One time when I was seeing someone, I ordered a very special kind of magical girl one for her. I found the box had 2 different kinds of packaging tape. Someone else had opened it already and sealed it after finding out it was in the box. And the only person living in our apartment at that time was my brother. It's been 9 years since that happened and neither of us uttered a single word. One time, a guy bought me a vibrator and I threw it out, but I didn't take the batteries out of it. So my grandmother one day heard the trash vibrating, and when I got home one day, she said, next time you throw something out, you might want to take the batteries out of it. And I was so embarrassed. So I feel you. I feel you. I didn't know that like it would turn on in there. I met Lucia and fell in love. Please have my babies. No, thank you. Hi, guy, 35. Let my best friend in college, girl, dry hump me when we would study alone in her room and didn't do anything to pursue her until it was too late. Biggest regret of my life. Right above not buying a sword from an armory in Germany. You didn't buy the sword? You fucking fumbling dumb. Now you have no woman, no sword. The sword is the biggest loss. Why did you get the sword? Lock in. As for the girl, dry hump you? I don't know how women could only, I'd be going all the way. You're alone studying and she's dry humping you. She was definitely getting orgasms from that and you were just getting That's crazy. Warning, unintentional turtle death. Okay, guys, if you really like turtles or you don't like animal death, please close your eyes and close your ears. For context, my childhood home was right next to a marshy wooded area and a senior living home. When we were young, children, me, my brother, and a friend found a small snapping turtle that had wandered out of the marshy woods next to our house and onto the road. Being the good-natured children we were, we sought to capture it and release it back into the marshy woods to live a long, happy life and to avoid being flattened by a car. We coaxed it into a recycling bin and set off towards a pond in the marshy area that one of us knew about to set the turtle free. The pond was tucked in between the woods and the senior living home right next to a small parking lot. When we arrived, we approached the pond, but found that the ground surrounding the pond was thick and muddy. My brother and friend found that amusing and began horsing around and being loud as we navigated the thick mud. After a few minutes, we heard a window open and an old lady yelling incoherently. We turned around to see the lady practically hanging out a third-floor window. What we assumed she had was a bottle of wine yelling at us. She threw the bottle of wine into the parking lot, and in between her drunken babbling, we heard the word police. We panicked. In that moment of panic, my brother snatched the turtle out of the bin and lobbed it into the pond. As I looked back over my shoulder, the last thing I saw was the turtle sailing through the air and right into the only exposed rock in the whole pond. The last thing I heard before we made it back to the parking lot was the sound of shells shattering and of a now certainly dead turtle crashing into the pond to sink below the surface. Why am I laughing? And come to rest in a watery grave. GG. That poor turtle. It was a successful release. It just happened to be a successful release into the afterlife. When I was watching the Sonic 3 movie with my friend on New Year's 2025, I grabbed her by accident. She wanted me to hug her while we were in the theater. She likes hugs. My focus was on the movie. So we were trying to hug between seats. My right hand landed on her boob. She didn't tell me until the credits rolled and she was crying. I apologized and told her I didn't know. Why was she trying to hug you during the movie? And why'd she cry after? It was a sad scene. It better have been, because why is she You made it sound like she cried after you grabbed her. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's normal to like hug during a movie. Also, if she cried because you touched her, that's like kind of immature. I've never heard your voice. I'm not deaf. I see your streams every once in a while, but you're usually in the background. Even when you were at a con last year, you were too far away for me to hear you. Your voice is a nice little mystery to me, but one day I'll hear it, just not today. I feel like they're just gonna get disappointed. I feel like this is a lot of buildup for something very normal. I recently passed out in the gym and the doctors told me I wasn't enough. I'm sorry, what does that mean? Hold on. Can you pass out from not masturbating enough? It's not possible to pass out from not masturbating enough. The body naturally breaks down and reabsorbs unused sperm. Why are you lying? Which one of you is lying? The confessor or the doctors? I love masturbating. Me too, bestie. Dot me up. I got my professor to look up hentai a few semesters ago. I made a reference to it in a paper thinking he wouldn't get it. He came to the class the next day, thankful I put him onto peak.
Stop the cap.
You're such a liar. This did not happen. Because no professor would be like,
oh, thanks, man, for putting me onto peak. Like, I love that one scene.
Like, there's no way. Minus 20. When I was a teenager, my family only had one computer and it was kept in the living room in a computer cabinet right by the stairs. I, being the pent up teenage boy I was, used it quite frequently for my hand workout activities. One day I was using it for my hand workout and I heard my dad waking up and heading towards the living room. I was mid-eruption. In a panic, I swallowed my own supply and it was bitter, by the way. 1, hydrate. 2, eat pineapples. 3, how'd you swallow it? Was it like big enough for you to like put your head down there and like shoot directly into your mouth? Or like, did you have to like put that shit in your hand and then like throw it back like some M&Ms? Like what? What if my hand just licked it? Ugh. Oh God. What's your next one? I was walking home from high school, but my stomach was up after some pizza and I really need to take a dump. The shortcut I took home takes me through a nature park with some outhouse style toilets, so I knew I didn't have to wait too long to relieve myself. As I was walking down the steep hill, I slipped on the mud since it had been raining and fell. When I got up, I realized there were 2 kinds of mud on me and in my pants. I quickly shuffled to the outhouse at the bottom of the hill and took my ruined jeans and boxers off and threw smelly heap right into the shitter opening. You threw your poopy pants into the toilet? Someone's gonna have to take that out. Outhouse is a hole in the ground. Yeah, but like now there's just like clothes in the hole. Like, so people are just gonna and on clothes. Claimed by, I don't think pants are gonna biodegrade. It'll break down in like 10 years, 20 years. Archaeologists are gonna find that and be like, oh my God, what a depraved society. You're gonna be the reasons the aliens don't wanna save us. I was gooning and when I was about to sploosh into the toilet, a mouse came out of the drain hole and I got splooshed all over. You came on a mouse? Because I'm not surprised if like that actually happened. I think you need to be in jail. Master Splinter, no. I made over 40K in stocks in 2020 only for all to go into taxes to save my family's home. From a lion? What was he gonna do? What's a lien? What is that, chat? Oh, it's a claim. Oh, like your home was gonna get taken. Not a big cat. A legal claim against a property or asset that serves as collateral. Well, make over 40K again, 5head, and then spend it on me. Spend it on me or I'll tell everyone that you gooned on a mouse. I almost had an accident on the road when I was using my scooter for work. 3 cars almost hit me, where one of them was a truck and they weren't using their blinker. I had to forcibly stop my scooter, which resulted in me crashing on the road. I wasn't hurt and I made it to work. Well, I'm glad you weren't hurt. During my freshman year in high school, me and my friend almost got caught doing the deed in class. Later, we tried to find another place, so we thought in another classroom was the best choice when everyone was in the cafeteria. When a teacher, some students came back in the room. The classmate knew what we were about to do. We didn't get far enough and pretended we were just talking. During that time, I thought to myself, why didn't we use the old bathroom that no one— What high schools did you go to? My high school was like that? Bro, not for me. I think some people have high schools like this, but this is like super weird. That's crazy. I threw a house party the night before I moved out of my child home. The buyers of the house expedited the move and date, and so I had to move out quickly. My house is empty. I had a whole day, so I threw myself a going away party and invited everyone I knew. Surprisingly, everyone showed up and brought +1s. Everyone was drinking. It was the most drunk I'd been. Eventually, one of my buddies made a mixed drink of Everclear and blue Hawaiian punch. Someone passed it in my yard. We made a bonfire. I kissed a girl right after she puked in my mom's bathtub. I thought you were gonna say she puked in your mom's mouth, and some guy left without his car. The party went on until morning when everyone started leaving. I solo cleaned up my entire house and yard while drunk. Oh my God. Just as I finished, my friend came out of the bathroom and puked all over the floor. Less than an hour before the new owner showed up. I then drove to my new house and fell asleep. The new owners had no idea. My family never said anything, so who knows if they even knew either. Damn, that's crazy. I miss parties. I can't believe you cleaned all by yourself. One time I had access to a school laptop in middle school, so I Google image searched and my teachers taught me pretty much immediately. I started going to the public library to read spicy fanfic and play free games like Roblox, where I would ask girls I met online to let me see their feet. How did you even know that was a thing? Who taught you that? One time while playing Pirates of the Caribbean online, what game is that? I started chatting with someone who was possibly an adult woman. She got pissed at me and called me disgusting for doing that in a kids game, but she probably didn't realize I was also like 12. You're still disgusting for asking to see people's feet. I like to while driving, female in her 30s. Need for speed. Am I right? You're gonna kill someone. This is not a hee hee ha ha live laugh love type beat. This is genuinely a problem. Please stop fingering your while driving. I'm genuinely scared. Please stop. Ride a reader while driving though? No! There are other people on the road. It's not just you. If I get hit because someone was jerking their I'd be so mad. Same. You know how they had to do like a ton of advertisements to stop texting and driving? You're the problem. You're gonna be the person that we're gonna have advertisements for. Please stop fingering your while driving. And you spelled wrong. -10. This might sound like a made up story, but I had with my nope. No. At the time, I'd been living in my uncle's house for 2 years because this place was closer to my university. This uncle is my father's younger brother. One day, my aunt found out that my uncle was cheating with his coworkers. As time passed, I tried to comfort her until one day, when she was drunk, we ended up having sex. She remembered everything afterwards, and we continued doing it for about a year. We stopped after I graduated and returned to my parents' house. My uncle and aunt eventually got divorced. What? Okay, so you're not blood related. It was an aunt from marriage. So let's process that first. Still though, what the are you okay? I just want you to know we love you and accept you. You're not the weird one. Your aunt is. Your aunt is very weird. Your aunt is super weird. I had my first kiss when I was 9 years old as part of a teasing game between 4 girls on the playground. Are you a girl and you kissed a girl? Or you were a guy and 4 girls were bullying you? I watched a tornado form in real time when taking shelter at a local elementary school that apparently the old principal from my elementary school worked at. What? No, I know. The way the sentence like was written just like has me real up. Okay, whatever. I'm skipping that. I'm a guy who likes wearing thongs. Not every day, but frequent. Okay. It's the fact that this is easier to read than this one. Like this is easier on my brain than that one was. UV being down bad for everyone is slowly making me want to confess how down bad for other VTubers, including you, Lucia, but it's legit hard to get out. But for once, I wish to be pushed against the wall and be flirted, like make me into a bottom. UV, do you see what you're doing to the people? Do you see what you're doing? You're giving them the wrong idea. These people are into Zen. Zen would dominate like a bear. Me, I can't even dominate a mouse. They want me to push them against a wall and be flirted with. Dude, that would be so cringe if I was like, hey babe. You know what I mean? Like, hey. I think tentacles are hot even on men and femboys. I just can't get into tentacles, man. On my most recent trip to New York City, I got super drunk on my first night there. That night, I bumped into a super cool, kind of cute guy who turned out to be a director at a company that rhymes with Loca. Chat, am I supposed to know what that is referencing? When the bar closed, he walked me up to my room. I told him that I was bi, which is wild because it's not even true. Never been with a guy, but I wanted to try and ask why I brought it up in my drunk shut him up by interrupting him by telling him I was gonna go to bed. I proceeded to kick him out of my room and pass the frick out. You could have seen if you were actually bi. You fumbled. And he was probably into you because he like went with you the whole time. My wife and I were busy in a car in a parking lot before we found out that the parking lot was used by the local police training academy. They did a patrol while we were indecent. There's no way they didn't know, but we got dressed and out of there as fast as possible. You people are so... I've had cars before, but like, how did you not know that you were in a police training academy parking lot? Also, like in a parking lot, I don't know, I always get scared in parking lots. Mine was like on like a little road. I'd partaken in some devil's lettuce. Huh, no. A couple of weeks ago with my coworkers at the end of the workday. I then proceeded to go home high out of my mind, slept for 12 hours straight. I heard a woman full on sobbing and weeping. I checked my phone to make sure no crazy YouTube video was on. I laid in bed thinking it would go away. 40 minutes of this woman's voice crying and wailing until I eventually got up and then I didn't hear it again. Lay off the weed, bro. I follow it first because your model is like really, really hot. Like, I genuinely don't agree. I just have fat boobs. That's all it takes. Men these days want so much from us. Men these days want so much. The standards are so high. At my former university, I became an urban legend cryptid because people mistook my everyday habits as paranormal activity. I worked on campus as a resident assistant. We had to do security checks and monitor the dorms. I wear mostly black, I'm a night owl, and I'm light on my feet and will often walk barefoot. Plus, in Latin American culture, ominous whistling at night is considered a very bad thing. So me being fast, quiet, dude, you're these people up, and walking around at night in all black whistling tones to myself made people think an honest to God ghost was wandering the halls. I kept wondering why people were legitimately terrified about a ghost haunting the place until I realized they were actually describing me. 10 out of 10. That's f***ed up, man. You knew what you were doing. And why are you barefoot? Maybe you are an urban legend cryptid. Why are you barefoot at work? What are you doing? You have to be careful. You might step on something. I currently work delivery and have a habit of weird things happening to me all the time. I was driving late and essentially beating the police and fire department to discovering a semi truck with attached trailer completely on fire. It was pitch black outside, so just being out at night seeing that much fire was an experience. Reported it and waited until emergency services showed up and then somehow went about the rest of my night. That's crazy. There was probably someone wanted to burn in there or it was like an accident, but that's crazy.
You don't understand how crazy that would be to see.
Like that fire would have been huge. When I was a kid, I put a booger on my taxi's jacket. He didn't notice though, but it's okay. I'll think of it as a free souvenir for me. That's disgusting. I hate children. Another experience when I was a kid, I dropped a lamp in a busy mall and everyone was staring at me, so I cried. I cried so much as a kid. I didn't like any attention at all. It was so scary to even be looked at. I was like a very shy, hide behind the leg type of kid. My craziest experience is that I got a Ryzen 7 CPU for free by a really kind dude on Reddit. When it arrived, I tested the crap out of it and it was legit. Sent the guy a bunch of thanks afterwards.
So then I gave him a bunch of free karma.
I'm glad it was nice. My secret is that even though I appear very manly and into manly themed things, I like things that society approves of me as a man. I loved My Little Pony. I love J-pop, especially from Ado. I love romance animes like Ranma. I love Cosmic Princess Kaguya. I'm not feminine in terms of personality and a person. I like things that society associates with being feminine. I mean, no offense to anyone of any gender, just the best way I could think of describing this. I think that's awesome. My Little Pony is so nice. I wish My Little Pony didn't get ruined by like gooners. And here's the thing, right? Obviously I'm a gooner, but those are ponies. Like My Little Pony is actually a really good show. It's funny, it's cute, it's super sweet. And like it just got a really bad rep because like a lot of gooners started like really getting into My Little Pony. Like, why are you being on Rainbow Dash? Dude, I had to make sure this wasn't a Lakari situation. I really had to make sure. You cannot post this when I don't want to see your drive. I'm so glad it's not what I thought it was. He's just saying like he has 3.7 gigabytes of saved art, comics, saved videos. Is this all artists I enjoy in case it hits the fan, but some of it is my old? It is. You have a addiction. I'm sorry. You genuinely do. And I'm holding your hand and I'm being genuine. This is such a addiction. I don't think this is normal. I don't think this is normal. I don't think that you guys do this. Men, do you do this? Is this like a guy thing? I'm sure you're a great guy or something, but I just wouldn't want to like deal with your addiction. I'd be intimidated as a woman. I once had a brief online friends with benefits style thing with an artist I followed on Twitter. Things just sort of fizzled out, nothing crazy, and they've mostly gone radio silent. But the short amount of time we messed around for did help me develop body neutrality at a time I really needed some. I've since lost a lot of weight and generally feel better about myself, but at the time their words helped a lot on how I viewed myself physically. On the absolute scantiest of chances they somehow see this, I just want to tell them thanks, even if they have no idea that this is about them. That's cute. That's really cute. I think sometimes people having experiences like that is super important. In high school, my girlfriend and I would meet up in the library early in the morning and have sexy time before everyone would get to school. Other couples did the same and we had to move because someone got caught having sex between the bookshelves. What high schools were you guys going to? Went to sleep in the living room one night and heard my brother and his wife having sexy time. Why do you keep calling this sexy time? I went back to my room, was very proud of him because he was trying to be quiet with a house full of family over for holidays. Good for him. During class, I was leaning back in my seat and my then girlfriend proceeded to go behind me, lift her shirt and suffocate me with her giant breasts in front of my teacher during study hour. Didn't happen. I'm very innocent to those around me in public, but secretly I'm very dominating and teasing. The people who learned about it really like it and see me in a different light in public. Mood. Good for you, buddy. Because of an experience, I have pudendal neuralgia. Didn't bother me much as I'm not one to have fun with myself and fun time isn't my thing. But when in relationships, I would take on my pain and suffer for my partner. Aww, that's so sad. I would be followed by me having stress activated seizures. Never told my last ex, not until the day I applied to seek for help. He dumped me the day after. A week before our 6th year. I'm the one that packed up his things and a few expensive things that have been gifts, but no longer work with batteries, a game or two missing, everything I had receipts for, and everything made to look like moving and storage damaged of sorts. Pain brought upon revenge. His cousin said he never found out it was me. I think that's fucked up that they dumped you after seeking help in a week before your 6 years. I hope you got help for your neurological pain, because I don't think you should be forced to do anything or put your pain aside for that. That's sad. One time while I was in college, I was late for an exam and just got into the door. There were well over 100 people in this class, and the professor was a stubborn bitch about me being late. I took the test, but I'm the last person to finish. When I finished the exam, I walk up to turn in the next, and the professor says, "You showed up late, you failed the exam." I said, "Do you know my name?" She said she didn't, so I picked up the pile of exams, put mine in the pile, and walked out. Got a C+ on that exam that she curved up to a B- later. If this is real, that's really fucking funny. My now ex-girlfriend and I were spending the holidays with my family. Me and her decided to have some fun times when we woke up. I was deep in... Stop saying fun times! I know you're probably saying it because it's Twitch and I said don't be sexually graphic, but you can say had sex. Stop saying sexy times. Stop saying fun times. Stop saying I put my cooter in her booter or something. Shut up. Just say you had sex. I was deep inside her and I heard my mother come up to the door, so I whispered to my ex, "Go to sleep," and we just laid there acting like we were still asleep. We still have the covers on and I was on top of her and still inside her. My mother opens the door, looks inside and goes, "Oh, they're still sleeping," closes the door and leaves. We made another minute before continuing our activity. Your mom totally knew, because she would not say, "Oh, they're still sleeping," out loud unless she knew. I was on top of my ex completely naked, and his mom went to the doors that were shut and said, "You can't have these doors shut." And I was like, oh my God, because I thought she was gonna walk in and I was completely naked. Like, I don't know why I didn't leave my top on or anything. It was so scary. I hate that. I never have ever done anything like that again without like clothes being on, because it's so fucking scary. And that was like the first time I met her. Once did tech support in an orgy wearing nothing but bead-themed thigh highs. How are you guys having orgies? And why were you wearing bead-themed thigh highs? And what was the tech support for? Every single person at that orgy that I did things with ended up coming out as trans in the following decade. That's crazy. Maybe not the naughtiest though, but I've always had a fantasy of if there were more clones of me, they would do the most kinky and lewd things to me. No one would know how to turn me on more than myself. Hopefully my sin isn't so condemnable I can be forgiven. I forgive you, but you're a weird little guy. Bro, if I saw a clone of me, I would freak the f out. I would not be like, "Oh, let's get her." I'd be like, "Hell no, you're ugly." My most disgraceful and downright evil sin. I've missed some of your streams. That's f***ed up, man. That's really f***ed up. How dare you have a life? How dare you need to breathe? How dare you need to eat food? How dare you need to drink water? How dare you need to go to work? How dare you play games? How dare you watch other streamers? How f***ing dare you? Straight to hell. For the longest time, until like 1 or 2 years ago, I thought Milkshake by Kellis was about her bragging that she could make the most delicious milkshake since they brought all the boys to the yard. I like to preference that I'm almost 23. Have you ever taken the autism test? Wait, who let the dogs out isn't about letting dogs out? Wait, what? I literally thought it was about like who let the dogs out. They're too fun. They're having too much fun. So we'll probably stop here. Do you guys want a part 2?